Fellow councillors, and if you're still watching, citizens, councils in Scotland are being shortchanged. Cllr point out that the SNP Scottish Government fiscal resource budget was increased by 3.1%, yet they have chosen an overall minus 2.4% drop for Scottish councils, a difference of 5.5%. But Edinburgh is shortchanged even further. It has the lowest per capita settlement in Scotland for a third year in a row, this year at £1,585 per head per citizen, and for the second year in a row falls below the 85% threshold, with an average of 79.2% per head in revenue funding. This deliberate underfunding of Edinburgh is behind the points made to us by the deputations made today by trade unions and citizens. It's in the warnings given in reports by Audit Scotland and audit reports on this council and in respect of all councils in Scotland. It has to stop, and we need a leadership that will lobby and campaign for the city to halt it. A good example is the COVID money from Westminster through Barnet for councils. It took a campaign by Cllr to prize the money from the SNP Scottish Government meant for councils, which councils then got 6 weeks later and only in tranches over a further 4 weeks. Why? In the first wave of the pandemic and despite the pressure faced by councils, why? It tells you all you need to know about the SNP Scottish Government view of the worth of councils. Councils are being shortchanged even when coping with COVID, a funding gap that will be met by use of reserves and whose future impact is being mitigated but not resolved with a holiday for loan repayments. Look at paragraphs 419 to 424 of our papers, a problem that makes future budgets even harder, a point made in the report. Edinburgh is being shortchanged whilst the SNP Scottish Government receive over £9 billion from Westminster they will not fully account for in the way that this council does to its citizens in the papers today, and how and in what way that funding is being used. Councils in Edinburgh are at the bottom of the heap and being shortchanged. Edinburgh has been shortchanged by the SNP Scottish Government in revenue, capital and COVID funding. It has also been shortchanged by this council not challenging Holyrood. The Capital Coalition Agreement at paragraphs 4.6 and 4.7 commits to lobby, promote and ensure that local services are adequately funded. It has not delivered. Despite pressing at full council and committee, we have the lowest per capita per citizen in Scotland. For the second year in a row, the flooring mechanism fails Edinburgh. Deliberate decisions. We do not have the capital we need for a growing city. There is no budget I can support today, despite the rhetoric deployed, that does not cut, as none have the funding Edinburgh needs. Holyrood has the money in the bank, the funding and the powers to meet the funding that Edinburgh needs. It's time for the SNP Scottish Government to give the capital and Scotland's councils parity of esteem, along with the full and fair funding we need. That is why today I will abstain in the vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Munro.